Did Tennessee get a favorable college football playoff matchup? And I assume you're talking about draw as well, because potentially playing Oregon, number 1 team in the nation, in round 2 ain't great.
Yes. I'm talking about draw in the first round. In general, did they get a favorable matchup with Ohio State?
Okay. So what say you?
Given the fact that Tennessee was going to have to go on the road, and that was established last week with the rankings, I think they should be happy with their matchup. I kind of looked through it last night, Dave, and I think that if you're Tennessee, of the 4 teams playing home games, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State, and Ohio State, I think you would rather play Ohio State than the other 3. And the reason I bring that up is Ohio State is they're really banged up right now. I was looking at them last night. They're really banged up. And as I've talked about before, the fan base is ready to quit on their coach. And I think the players are going to be infected by that mentality. And with all that in mind, I think that, Texas, I question how good they are. And I've questioned that all year. They haven't beaten anybody, but they still do have talent on that team. Notre Dame, playing at Notre Dame can be rough. I mean, this, Dave, that Columbus is one thing. That's in the middle of Ohio, but South Bend, that's right up there on the lake. I mean, that's a totally different type of environment playing at Notre Dame. And then Penn State, although Penn State chokes in big games, and yes, they do choke in big games, I think they're a lot more excited to be where they are than Ohio State is to be where they are. I think Ohio State's very down on themselves and has a very poor mentality entering this playoff.
I agree. They don't like Ryan Day. He can't beat Michigan. But I think any program worth its salt is going to get jazzed up for one game, especially an elimination game. So I'm gonna part with you there, but I will say this. They might not be excited enough to pay or withhold the exorbitant ticket prices. If you don't believe in Ryan Day, follow me here, because I was thinking about this over the weekend. Tennessee is one of the top 3 or 4 traveling teams in the nation. No question about it. They are. You've seen what they've done to road games like Pitt. You've seen what they've done to all of these different bowl games where there's a Vol walk. If that fan base, they don't have to run out there and say, lose Ryan Day because we hate you. They don't have to be that bad about it. But let's just say Johnny Q. Public decides to buy a little fewer of those playoff tickets. Who's going to gobble them up? And is there a chance, I'm not saying 50-50, but is there a chance that 20 to 30% of the fans there are in orange? That would send a major, major statement in recruiting, those spending NIL dollars. And they did that at Pitt, which if you haven't read my latest column, the Pitt game was what started all of this back in 2022. And I talked to Cooper Mays about that. It was the Pitt game. That's what started the trajectory up. And Caleb, maybe this starts the final trajectory of winning a national title.
I mean, that's a very, very good point. And we could take it even further than that, Dave, if you really think about it. Put it this way. If Tennessee puts 30% of the fans in the stadium, I think we can safely say then that they're definitely going to get the benefit of the doubt in the future, right? They won't do this to Tennessee again.
Yes. And Tennessee has gotten the benefit of the doubt for the most part. And I don't know how you do it when there's a true elimination game, but Tennessee getting the benefit of the doubt should be the case if it's 50.01% Ohio State and it's 49.91%, whatever the case may be. I think that Neyland and Tennessee deserve the benefit of the doubt because it just looks darn good on college football. Today's tough question. What do you think of the draw? What's our poll question at now?
Today's tough question. I'm sorry. Let me pull it up real quick. I'm having a I was checking something real quick and I'm losing sight of all of my tabs open, guys. I really apologize.
Tell you what, we'll take 30 seconds from Banks and Jones to get right back to that. Why Banks & Jones? Well, it's because they're Tennessee's trial attorney. You can play to win with Banks & Jones because they'll go to trial. You've heard of other lawyers. They say they'll go to trial and fight for you. They won't. They just want to settle. That's the easiest way out. Well, that's not Banks & Jones, led by T. Scott Jones. They won't settle. They'll go to trial for you. Tennessee's trial attorney. They play to win. Truly, Tennessee's trial attorney when it comes to criminal defense or personal injury. Why settle? It's Banks & Jones. T. Scott Jones. Banks. All right, Caleb, where's our poll question?
I'm putting it up right now. It's not showing. I will set it up right now, which is this. Did Tennessee get a favorable matchup against Ohio State? Yes or no? And Dave, I got some stats for you real quick after I put this up.
Why didn't mine show up? I put it up earlier.
I have no idea. But it's... I know. Oh, well. Well, I got this up now. So, okay, here's some stats I want to bring you. Ready for this? That's going to really throw you off?
Yes.
I just checked StubHub. And, guys, I just opened StubHub right now. Dave, I think you would be very, very shocked at how low interest is in this game from at least Ohio State's fan base.
Okay, to me, if you can get in the house for $100, that's super low. Can you get in the house anywhere?
No, you can't get in the house for $100. However, let me just give you context real quick. Notre Dame, Indiana. Guess what the cheapest tickets on StubHub are going for Notre Dame, Indiana?
$600 or $700.
$914.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Second most expensive is Texas and Clemson, all the way down at $300. $300 is Texas and Clemson.
Okay.
Tennessee.
If you go to that game, then I have an HD television down the road that I would like to sell you. Just $100 markup. Go ahead.
Penn State and SMU is the worst at $141. But Dave, that's because SMU fans aren't buying tickets. They're not having to compete with SMU fans to buy tickets.
Well, right. And I've actually been told that Fricks, you can actually get a full Fricks down for free if you go to that game.
Oh. Well played. I thought you have to be under 18.
Value in that game.
I thought you have to be under 18 to get that at Penn State. Okay, sorry.
Moving on.
But Tennessee's, Ohio State's, you can get in for $291 right now on StubHub, which is the third cheapest of the tickets right now.
Tennessee, and if you just looked at it as far as a marquee, you would say that's the biggest game of the first weekend.
It's the biggest game of the first weekend. It should be by far the most expensive ticket, shouldn't it? Like, by far the most expensive ticket.
So while we've actually been on the air today, we have determined that this is a good time to go ahead and call up there and buy a ton of tickets, and that Tennessee could take over Ohio State in a playoff game. Surely, to the love of Pete, I can't be saying that right.
I can tell you this. My brother sent me a text yesterday. He's got tickets to the game. They were under 100 yesterday. They were under 100. So I'm just going to tell you guys this right now. Tennessee fans are pushing up the prices of these tickets. That's what's happening right now. Tennessee fans are pushing up the prices. Ohio State.
What I read from that is Ohio State fans are keeping the price of the tickets low.
Yes, because they're not buying them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. I bet, honestly, I would have woken up this morning if I was a Tennessee fan and thought, well, darn, they're going to buy up all the tickets there. It's going to be like trying to go to an Alabama game in Bryant-Denny when you don't know you want to go until 3 days before. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I would have thought that too. No, they are being sold and they are scooping it up. And I just have to be honest. It's really intriguing how this is happening. And I'm starting to think that, look, I think you might see Tennessee fans fill that stadium, like what you just said, into the 30% range. Ohio State fans are very, very unhappy with the state of the program right now. And this is why I think it's a favorable matchup. I think tell me if I'm wrong, Dave, but I get you're supposed to get up for the game, but like the demoralization of the program, look, I told you guys this yesterday, and I'll say it again. If you're Ohio State or Michigan, that's like the one type of rivalry where, like, even if you win the national title at Ohio State, you're still like, yeah, but we lost to Michigan. Like, you can't ever overcome that loss. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, Dave, if Tennessee lost to Florida but won the national title, Tennessee fans would be like, huh, who cares we lost to Florida? We got the national title. So, and that's the ultimate goal. I mean, you think about the title first. Ohio State is not going to get over the fact that no matter what they do this year, it's, oh, but we lost to Michigan. And they are demoralized because of that.